Hello. I'm in Grand Haven. I'm on my bike. It is day, just kidding. It's month 6. I know that. I'm not dealing with my album this month yet because the last couple months were pretty intense, and I decided that this month could be a little more, I was gonna say, no, how about whimsical? I decided this month could be a little more whimsical. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it after earthwork gets done. I'm playing an earthwork harvest gathering this weekend, and I've never played it as Just Came the Rainbow. I put together a little band of friends. It was gonna be even bigger, but a couple of them couldn't do it, and but I'm really happy about what has evolved. It's sort of like the shoot for the moon. Even if you miss it, you land among the stars. And I'm gonna have little star seeds next to me up there. I love these people. So, yeah, I'll tell you more about who some other time. This doesn't feel like the time to just list things. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Jess Kramer and Brian Ralph and Gabrielle Schaub, Von Lent, and with a guest appearance by Micah from Breathe I'll Breathe, and maybe one more. And yeah, just feeling lots of things today. Not as bad as usual kinds of things. Sorry, I picked a kind of noisy spot to do this, but there you go. Here's just like everyday Grand Haven. This cute yellow house and a flag. The street. This is 7th Street. 7th Street and Franklin. If you like maps like I do. Ooh, those trees are pretty. Maybe I'll put those in your background. Kind of far away. Okay. What am I here to talk about? I just posted something on Facebook about forgiveness and all the people that I was gonna say had to forgive, but I think chosen to forgive from my past. I shared a story about how someone who was close to me systematically sold a bunch of my favorite books to get money when they didn't have a job. And it was for their addiction. And they're very open about having an addiction, so I'm not calling that person out. But it was a rough time in my past and definitely exacerbated a lot of trust issues. So this weekend I had my recreated bookshelf out in the living room at a house show that we had, even though I knew there were going to be people I didn't even know in our house. And my parents and my boyfriend Brian and myself have all kind of repurchased some of those books that were sold or essentially stolen from me, and kind of rebuilt that bookshelf, so it became kind of a symbol for me of how transient things are and how things aren't the point, but also things can hold a lot of pieces of our hearts in them, because that bookshelf meant a lot to me. And so you can't just say, well, things don't matter when this person from my long past just like stole my things and sold them. Like, things matter in the sense that respecting each other is important, but and not violating other people's boundaries is important. Basic things you learn in elementary school are important. But oh, I just noticed my unicorn. Thanks, Stephanie. Stephanie gave me that hat. We bought it at Meijer for like $4. Ooh, these cars are whizzing by. I'm gonna scooch off the curb a little bit. Thanks, Uncle Quinn, for teaching me that lesson. I was journaling on a curbside one time in a small town in Wisconsin, and he drove past kind of fast, and he was like, "Get off the side of the road." And for a while I thought that was funny, because the way he yelled it, we turned it into like a funny story. But it wasn't funny. I shouldn't journal on the side of a road that doesn't even have a curb. I don't do that anymore. Anyway, so yeah, back to the bookshelf story. So at this show that we just had at our house with a couple bands, some out of town people, and then, you know, friends, and then friends of friends, and then even, you know, if a stranger were to find out about our shows and was to check it out and was friendly, like we give out the address and we welcome people in our home. We're just trying to kind of create a safe, kind of calming space that has music, mostly quieter music, but some loud music, and just like, you know, but like feel good vibes, even though it's a lot of sad music. Just we like, you know, creating, I guess, warmth, not feel good, warmth, a lot of warm vibes. And so I just felt like the bookshelf had kind of accidentally meandered out to the living room in our personal lives, and then I was about to move it into a private room, and then I was like, or I could just kind of work on my trust and my forgiveness and leave it out there. And just, you know, if a book gets stolen, I mean, who's going to walk out of our house show with all my books? So if a book gets stolen, then that's just, you know, humanity sucks sometimes. And it really depends on the day you catch me as to whether or not I can smile while I say that humanity sucks sometimes. I said this much more succinctly in the Facebook post. But anyway, 6 minutes later. What else is going on? So getting ready for earthwork has actually been surprisingly a dream, even though I'm also so... I get very, like, psychically tired. I don't know how to describe that. It's like the headspace tired. I get, like... I need lots of time for things like this. I need lots of time for this, plus journaling, plus songwriting, plus being in nature, plus being on a bike ride, plus getting a soft pretzel ever since Donald Trump was elected president, because that's been a way to comfort myself, plus trying to figure... Sorry, that's a whole other long story with a huge backstory, but they do sell really good soft pretzels, or donut pretzels, as my nephew Sullivan calls them. At a little shop in town called Baker's Wife, and then also the Village Baker in Spring Lake. Check it out. You know, small comforts when everything around you is falling apart is something people have told me is not a bad thing. It's not as unhealthy as it seems. But I do want to lose weight, and that's another humongous topic. I've put on weight 3 times in my life, like significant amounts from using birth control. Now is probably not the right time to get down to this topic, but later trying to take it off has been challenging. And yeah, I'm not at a place yet to talk about that, but I will talk about it, because as much as I don't want to have the weight loss story be part of my story again, I also don't want to stay in this place, because this place is a little bit physically uncomfortable for me. I think there's a happy medium for me. I have had anorexia and bulimia in my life. So if you knew me when I was really thin, I might have had some pretty unhealthy eating habits at the time. I never got really extreme on either anorexia or bulimia, because I had people in my life who were noticing what I was doing. Thanks, Rachel, my sister-in-law. That was when I was like 18. She said just the right things at just the right time. It was a dream to work with you, by the way, Rachel. You were a really good co-worker. We worked at a daycare together for a few summers. I love that girl. I think I'm just feeling a lot of love for humanity right now. Like, some relationships and friendships and social things that had been feeling harder for me last month, just because of the amount of them I was expecting myself to handle. Whether it was different shows, different collaborations, different ways of networking. It was just starting to overwhelm my system, and it was mixed with the time when I was trying to do a lot of past stuff too and work on past albums. Whereas, sorry, I just wanted to see that yellow house and flag again. That's so cute. Whereas now I'm sort of reaping some of the benefits of all of that. Like, we just played a 4-piece version of Cloudlight at our last show, and Mac was back in town, and that's always so dreamy. Hi Mac, I love you. And Travis played with us on drums, and that was so dreamy. and he had been practicing with us, and you know, the last couple practices were just feeling so flowy and comfortable and happy, and he's an excellent drummer. If you ever need a drummer, he's usually open to talking about projects. What am I, a promotion star? Who's gonna watch 10 minutes of this to find one quick promotion of my friend who's a drummer? Whatever. And yeah, and Nick was there, and I haven't seen Nick since he moved away. Or maybe I saw him for a brief second. I don't know. Brian saw him. Anyway, Nicholas Stuckman, he played, and John Hanson played at our house, and both of those two people are so dreamy in such different ways for me. And I've just noticed lately there's a lot of people that fill the kind of floaty space in my brain and give me a lot of inspiration and a lot of feelings of lightness. And that's nice. And yeah, I don't think it's hope, because hope is all about the future. Maybe I want to talk about that. So I've been thinking a lot about the present moment and how to be present in your own skin, in your own life. And I occasionally reread a page or two from The Power of Now, which is a helpful book about that. But I read other spiritual books too. Christian things, Buddhist things, like I'm very open to talking about it in lots of different ways, but I do think that sometimes people are very anti-hope, because they think of hope as like, you know, selling ourselves a lie, or just like having false hope, you know. And I kind of agree. I think I seem like a hopeful person, but I'm actually fairly bleak if you talk to me about what I think of the future, whether it's my future in the music industry or whether it's my future as a human being. Like, I just think we're all living, having experiences, processing experiences, and then we die. And like, if you talk about it that directly, it actually sounds very bleak, but it's not bleak, it's just the truth. Like, 150 years from now, none of us will be here unless there's some pretty crazy advancements in medical science. So I think, and then even so, I can just change my number. So then 200 or 300 years from now, fine. Who cares what number I say? Like, either way, eventually we all perish, and that's a part of it, and new is born. And then that perishes, and then new is born from that, and that dies, and then it's just like, you know, not profound at all. And I don't think, if other people want to label that bleak, that's fine. I even label it bleak. Like, it just sounds, it feels bleak compared to the messages we're sold about. You know, I get these magazines in the mail that I didn't ask for about, like, how to live your best life and which things you need to focus on, and anti-aging products, and how to fix your hair, and how to have a better this, and what the perfect vacation is. And I'm just like, this is just gross. It's gross. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't spend your life on that. If you are spending your life on that and you're simultaneously feeling depressed and unsatisfied and or on medication, even though maybe you didn't used to need medication, it could be because you're being sold a million lies. And you can start to systematically like undo and pluck the lies out of your brain. Like, you can. It's real and it's possible. Cultural things, most cultural things are lies. Like, most of it is tied into capitalism and people trying to sell you things. Even a lot of the new age self-help, others help culture. You know, a lot of some of the biggest wolf in sheep's clothing in my life. I was just listening to a song I wrote about this back in 2016 that I might try to release at some point. I think it was called Lotto Minds or something. And it was all about like that one person, although some of them build classes around this to teach other people how to do this, how to become that wolf, and how to find your client base and sell them on one thing and get their $20 right up front. And then you might not convert them into long-term clients, but you still got their first $20. But it's like, and these people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars off these people with internet sales. And it's like, and a lot of them are selling a feel-good kind of thing, like a class, or like a how you can get rich quick, or how you can suddenly have this or that skill, or this or that level of happiness. And it's like, that $20 from all those different people who sign up for the class one time before they realize it's somewhat of a scam, all of that combined. Okay, I'll move. been so nice. Some guy was just telling me he was going to park right by me and he didn't want me to be scared. Okay. Well, I should wrap up and or to be continued. Or I could just let him park there and not move. That would be fascinating. Anyway, wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah, this was the opposite. This man actually looked a lot like Bill Clinton. I wonder if he wants to be in my video. Probably not. That is the best. Talk about trust. Alright. So, long story short, this is hilarious. Something about wolf in sheep's clothing. Pretty good. Oh no, I'm just on a bike ride and I'm blogging, video blogging. Yeah, I'm a songwriter, so keeping track of my progress. Thanks for the warning. That was nice of you. Alright, so, yes, so the wolf in sheep's clothing idea. I guess the last thing to say about that is that, oh, it's a big cute dog. You gotta see this.
It's a puppy.
Hello! He's really a puppy.
15 months old.
Now you're famous in my video.
Cool.
What's its name?
Liam.
Liam? Nice to meet you, Liam. Thanks for saying hello. That is the cutest thing ever. It's sweet.
160 pounds.
What's your name?
My name's Gary.
Gary, nice to meet you.
Hello world, how you doing? Trying to pick up
Gary.
chicks on the curb.
Right. Yeah, Liam, you knock that off. Bye, Gary. Well, I'm trying to remember what I was saying. So that, oh, another dog.
This is Laban.
Hi, Laban.
He's 175 pounds.
Wow. You have humongous dogs. That's amazing. Nice to meet you. He's more chill. He's aloof. Yeah. Have a good one. So this is actually a perfect metaphor for what I've been going through, which is trust. So hey, that goes back to the bookshelf story. So in the bookshelf story, that was all about learning to roll with things and learning to, I'm still feeling so awkward right now, learning to kind of just allow things to unfold and allowing situations to be what they are. I think I used to live with a lot of fear, and when you operate with fear, like the fearful version of me would have at the first second of being told, oh my goodness, there's so many dogs. Okay, what's this one's name?
This is Tux, because he's always in his tuxedo.
Tux.
He's 200 pounds.
Holy cow, Tux. I feel like I have a cool dog show now.
Good, you got a good video. Go say hi. You want to go say hi?
Tux.
Go say hi.
Oh my goodness, you're so cute. These dogs are so big.
I'll be bringing the dinosaur out in a minute.
Okay, wait, there's a bigger one?
No, there isn't.
Oh, okay.
I hope not.
I get it, the dinosaur, I get it.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Tux. Nice. Tell me your name again.
Gary.
Gary. Okay, Gary.
Thank you.
Yes, okay.
With 2 R's.
With 2 R's.
I become
Okay, that's awesome. I love that. That's great. Nice to meet you, Gary, and your dogs. Bye-bye. I picked this house because it was yellow and had a cute flag, and I've mentioned that in the video. I was like, I need to sit there because I love yellow and there's a cute flag. Yeah. Oh, even nicer. Yeah, that's really cool.
This will all be redone.
Okay, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'm filming the whole time. I don't know who's going to watch this. It's great. Okay, let's see. Okay, so then, trying to think of what it was I was saying. It's gone. Something about the bookshelf story. Something about trust. Trusting that the way the universe works, or the way that God works, or the way that fairies and angels or something work, whatever it is you believe in, because I believe in God, but I understand deeply that lots of people have issues with that word or with that concept or with churches, and churches are just people. But there are forces in the universe that are benevolent and kind and want to help us and want to give us moments that are beautiful and healing and teach us how to forgive and teach us how to roll with life and teach us how to trust. And the more I learn to share about that, the more I find that a lot of people want to be practicing this or want to be growing in this way, even if they don't like the word God. But yeah, you know, I think we all want healing in our hearts, and we all want to be inspired. And when I tell people that I used to have a person in my life who sold all my stuff and traumatized me in other ways, and then now I actually have a lot of forgiveness and I have a lot of trust, that's inspiring for them. And it, you know, it doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from taking risks and putting myself out there and being willing to feel things and being willing to cry and being willing to do things differently than the way I used to do them. Because I really almost jumped up and felt like I shouldn't be sitting on this curb. And then instead it turned into a cute dog show moment. So I hope you can have a lot of those moments in your day. I hope you can see that the ways you've done things before doesn't have to be the way that you do things now. You can make changes. You can decide to be a different person. You can listen to those instincts that tell you this is safe, even if it's weird. But this moment is safe, and this moment is safe, and this moment is safe. And then even if they're weird moments, you can still roll with them and trust them. And yeah, there's no one right way to do things. Even if the way that you feel called to do something is weird, you can still just do it. So, alright, well, that's probably enough on this one. I should show you. He was telling me that there's a finished, oh yeah, it's like a lighter yellow in the back. I just didn't know if I could catch it in the frame. Okay, well, I should probably get going. I have a lot to do today to get ready for the show. And I was going to think about, oh, there's another puppy. Hi, puppy. Okay, bye.